read. I haven't done a haul for a long time because, I don't know, I just kind of got into the rhythm of reading what I've already had and then turn around and just buying maybe about 2 or 3 books. But I've accumulated some books over quite a while, and here are the current books that I've accumulated but have not read yet, so I'm just gonna haul them right here. So the first book that I got is Track the Cat by Nevada Barr. Track the Cat is the first book in Nevada Barr's Anna Penguin mystery series. Anna Penguin is a ranger, I believe, park ranger. Anna Penguin is a park ranger. So as it should indicate, this series takes place in the ranges, the park ranges. So basically she's solving mysteries that take place in the Grand Canyon. But I have not, this is the first book, I haven't read the series yet, okay? I just know about it. Next I have Bloodshot by Sara Paretsky, and y'all know, yes Lord Jesus, I cannot wait to read this book. Now, Sara Paretsky, you know, I think I talked about Bitter Medicine, my experience with Bitter Medicine. Bitter Medicine is book 4 in her V.I. Warshawski series, and this is book 5. Is it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, 4. And this is book 5. I finally decided to catch up with Miss V.I. Warshawski, and I cannot wait to read this book. Since this book 5 is V.I. isn't crazy about going back to her old South Chicago neighborhood, but a promise is something she always keeps. Caroline, a childhood friend, has a dying mother and a problem. After 25 years, she wants Vi to find the father she never knew, but when Vi starts probing into the past, she stumbles onto some long-buried secrets and a very new corpse. Girl, why are you doing that? Okay, anyway, now she's stirring up a deadly mix of big business and chemical corruption that may become a toxic shock to a snooper who knows too much. As y'all know, Vi is a private detective who takes place in Chicago. The series starts in the 80s. I think at this point it's still in the 80s. But yeah, I'm really excited about getting back into Vi and some more hardboiled detective fiction. So the next book that I want to read, or the next book that I'm hauling, is Hitler's Furies by Wendy Lower. Get how low can you go? If you know what Furies are, Furies, mythologically speaking, are sort of like the female henchmen of the devil or something in that realm. But anyway, these are Hitler's Furies. And basically, as the subtitle says, it's German women in the Nazi killing fields. So when it pertains to history and you know, these big events that took place in history, these atrocious events, a lot of times people don't talk about the women involved in these things. You know, there's sort of that barrier of conversation regarding, you know, it's so much more believable or acceptable or makes sense in a sense to envision how awful men are when it comes to murders and killing, but you really don't talk about the women who actually took place in these atrocities also. That's why I thought this book was going to be very interesting, and I say was, but I'm going to read it and then I'll let you know for sure, which I think it's still going to be a powerful read. But yeah, you're going to get that sort of point of who are these women that were involved in the Nazi killing fields as well. So how can these women be also is something that is very much turning wheels in my head with curiosity. So I hope that I can really tell you guys about this book once I'm done. Okay, and next is Daughters of God and Shadows. As you can see, this is what I'm reading now. Do y'all want to see my bookmark? Let me show y'all my bookmark. And don't judge. If I show you my bookmark, don't you judge. Actually, I don't care if you damn you judge. You can judge all you damn want to. The point is that I love this bookmark. I don't care for the series so much. I don't care for the books so much, even though I read the first book in the series, but this bookmark is always giving me life. Yes, this is my bookmark. Anyway, this is the book that I'm reading now, Daughters of God and Shadow. It's written by Jayde Brooks. I think I'm saying her name right. I'm always feeling like I'm saying their names wrong, but Jayde Brooks. Honey, the black girl on the cover is what sold me on this book. I was in Barnes & Nobles and I just happened to see it and I was like, give it to me. Give it to me right this instant. Well, actually I saw it and then I came back and got it recently. But the point is that I'm always enthusiastic about a black character or a black author, which the author is black, who writes in a genre or writes outside of regular, normal, contemporary fiction. I love it all, but I'm just saying that these are realms that they normally don't go into, but we already been over that. But yes, this was in the sci-fi fantasy section. Listen, I have been reading this since the middle of the end of March, and I'm only 166 pages in. Girl, there is a lot of issues we could talk about with this book. A lot, honey. And I want to finish this before I can tell you everything, but at the same time, I want to tell you it now. There are some problems. Yes, some major problems. But I really just want to get through this book. Even if I sit here and read the back of it, it's just not gonna sink in at all for me or for you as the viewer of this video. But girl, all I can say is it's some problems. Yeah, Daughters of Gods and Shadows. So basically, it's one of those books where you gotta, you putting your support in, and look, I'm touching my implants, and you're just trying to, it's like I have to like this, but I'm not all that feeling it so far. I think the biggest issue that I have with this is it's doing a lot of telling instead of showing. It's numerous characters with numerous different titles. You have their names, and then they interchange their names with their titles. A character named Kale is suddenly referred to as Guardian, or Guardian is referred to as Kale. Numerous characters, numerous perspectives. There's characters that show up in chapter 6 who you're not quite sure what the hell is going on in chapter 6, and they're suddenly ushered and introduced, and then they're not shown down the line, so you don't know what's going on with them, what are their roles in the story. It's a book that compounds a lot of different things. It's compounding zombies with mythology, with I was gonna say aliens, but I don't know if I have a feeling it's gonna reach to that point, but it's not, and it kind of has. It combines just everything in the fantasy genre, everything, and it's so mismatched and thrown together that it doesn't make sense. And the reason it does not make any sense is because there's absolutely no, and I mean absolutely no setup to this book. There's no setup, there's no background information. I mean, of course, they're slowly revealing some of the information as it goes along, but honey, like, you are literally, I hate using literally, it's figuratively, you are figuratively holding on to the seat of your pants when you read this book, because it is written in that same fashion. With that being said, I do have the strong determination to finish reading this book. I really want to know what happens, although I think it is thrown and strewn together. It's missing some emotion, it's missing a lot of different things, but I really am hoping that at the end that there's some sort of, there's something at the end. I really just went off on this book, and I want to tell you about it, but I'm gonna leave it up to you to research it, because I feel like I'm going to spoil too much if I tell you about it, because there's a lot to digest. So I'm going to keep it vague, and what you can do is research it and then decide, if it's worth all of what I've just explained or not. Next is the Makioka sister. Makioka. I gotta learn how to say it like that, because pronouncing Japanese, it is very cut, you know what I mean? It's like Makioka. You have to give it some emphasis to it. Unlike Korean is so soft to me. It's all about inflection, soft spoken inflection in Korea. It's like, how did they say, Nabi Soyo, I don't know, we ain't gonna get into that because I don't study Korean, but with Japanese it's like cut baby cut. Anyway, let me be quiet. It was written in the 50s by a Japanese author, Jun'ichirō Tanizaki, and it follows the story of 4 Japanese women during World War II. They are elite Japanese women. They all have their different personalities, and of course they're sisters in the States, and it just follows their lives. I can give you more details on it, but I'll read a little bit on the back. So, well, in Osaka, in the years immediately before World War II, four aristocratic women try to preserve a way of life that is vanishing. But anyway, I've been looking for this book for quite a while. I think that I ran across it at one point and kind of pushed back from it. I was like, you know, not right now. And then I was like, look, I got a 20% off coupon from Barnes & Noble's. Honey, let's go ahead and spend it on this book. But I'm very happy to have this. And it looks beautiful to me. I just cannot wait to get into this book. You know, the next book I'm hauling is Factory Girls by Leslie T. Chang. This is a nonfiction book, sort of in line with the other nonfiction book I just mentioned. So I'll just read a little bit of the back here because I'm really excited about reading this book. I finally picked it up. Let me tell you, I was split between this book and another book. What was the name of that other book? It was another book by a Spanish author. I will go to the nonfiction section of Barnes & Noble, and I will literally hold these books and go, which one do I want? Which one do I want? What was the name of the other book? I can't get the name, but I know it when I see it. But anyway, I decided to get Factory Girls for this time. So Factory Girls is China has over 130 million migrant workers, nearly all of them under 30. And Factory Girls Leslie T. Chang or Chang, whatever, honey, whatever. I keep knocking my hat off. Is my hair showing? Okay, anyway. Tells the story of these workers primarily through the lives of two young women whom she follows over the course of 3 years as they attempt to rise from the assembly lines in the industrial city of Dongguan. Just don't. Chang takes us inside a sneaker factory so large that it has its own hospital, to makeshift English classes where students shave their heads in monk-like devotion, and back to a farming village, revealing the poverty and idleness that drive girls to leave home in the first place. A book of global significance, Factory Girls demonstrates how the mass movement from rural villages to cities is transforming Chinese society. Looks amazing, like really amazing. Next, I'm hauling The Moon Tells Secrets by Savanna Wells. If I had some hair, I would flip it like that. Savanna Wells is the pen name for Valerie Wilson Wesley. Now we know, I'm not gonna even go into that. But anyway, this is her second book under this pen name. Under the Savanna Wells pen name, what she writes is gothic thrillers. She's a black author, so her characters are African American or black, whatever you want to interchange with. So, and that really is kind of where I am with this. It's the same as with The Daughters of Gods and Shadows. You know, here's a black author who's writing in a genre that's not so filled with black authors filling this genre. And since I'm a fan of her work anyway, except for her contemporary black fiction, like I've reviewed at one point, which is what I was going to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about that book today. I really decided to get this because I read another one under her first book under this pen name, and I was really excited about trying her second one. But let me read some of it back because I need to get y'all ready. Rain is at her wit's end. Her 11-year-old son, Davy, whom she has raised by herself, has the power to shift into any animal, a gift from his dead father. Rain doesn't know how to control this legacy nor protect Davy from the skinwalker bent on killing them both. And if the skinwalker fails, she fears the sinister fate that awaits her son. I'm watching my time too. So Cade, still grieving the brutal murder of his wife, finds solace in Rain's companionship. But as the savage details of his wife's death mirrors the powers that Davy seems to have, Rain must fight to protect her child. So here's a woman who has a child who can shapeshift into animals, and I'm not judging. Like I said, I give these books a try because you don't see these often, but I'll be the first one to let you know how it works. You better believe that. And last, I'm hauling Elizabeth Peters' Naked Once More. And this is the book. This is book 4 and the final book in Elizabeth Peters' Jacqueline Kirby mystery series. Y'all know I love Jacqueline Kirby. I got this book like a couple days before Christmas and I still haven't read it because I don't want the series to end. It's like I'm really trying my best not to read this book because if I read it, that means the series Jacqueline Kirby's over. I just love Jacqueline Kirby. She's an ex-librarian who, as far as at this point, has turned into an author, and she solves murder mysteries. She has a smart-ass mouth. She knows, like I said in another video, she reads like it's nobody's business, and I'm always laughing when I'm reading these books. And just don't want to talk about this book because I'm gonna end up reading it, and then I'm gonna end up having no more Jacqueline Kirby to read. Anyway guys, that is it. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me on these 2 videos. I'm so happy that I could upload. I need to upload a lot more. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to close this video out. I appreciate you guys so much. I got to edit this video down as much as I can because I know they're going to be long. I don't know, you can always visit my blog. Like I said, even though I'm doing a haul now, I've always took pictures and hauled these books on my blog. You can always check them out there. And I think that's it. Let's go. Like, it's almost time for my Sunday night Ratchet TV. Even though The Walking Dead is not coming on anymore. Damn.